All right. Let's talk about what wasn't discussed at the conference, specifically the issue of settlement construction. Statistics from the Israel Central Bureau of Statistics showed that settlement construction more than doubled in 2013 from the previous year. Just really quickly, Phyllis, give us an update on the U.S. position on settlement freezes and how that's affecting the peace negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians.
Right now, the U.S. is not calling for another settlement freeze. It was the agreement to getting the Israelis to come to this round of peace talks, the round that I'm calling the Einstein talks, because this is sort of like Einstein's last definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you're going to get different results. That's what Secretary Kerry is doing this time around. He's not going to get different results. But what they had to promise the Israelis to get them in the room was, among other things, that they would not impose another settlement freeze. So we don't have calls for a settlement freeze, despite the massive escalation in the pace of land seizures, expulsions of Palestinians, demolition of Palestinian homes. If we want to talk about what is undermining the legitimacy of Israel, what Bibi Netanyahu likes to talk about, the threat of delegitimation, that's what's delegitimizing Israel all around the world. And it's going on with the U.S. saying not a word. AIPAC doesn't really have to worry about lobbying for the $3.1 billion in military aid. Israel is already going to get that. That's already in the budget. It's already been approved. They don't have to lobby for that. That's part of the problem, is that the U.S. continues to fund solely the Israeli military. This is not economic aid. Appropriately enough, Israel is the 27th wealthiest country in the world. It certainly doesn't need economic aid. It doesn't need military aid either, but that's what we're giving it. $3.1 billion in military aid. Unquestioned, and it's the only country that's allowed to spend a big chunk of that, a quarter of it, on their own research and development at home, competing with the Pentagon. Every other country has to spend all of their military aid here in the United States.
All right, Phyllis Bennis, always a pleasure having you on. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on the Real News Network.